we've lost a couple of peoples to make fun of. The Chinese and the mentally deranged. Look at what they've done to us. We used to be able to make fun of the Chinese all the time. Look at them. Oh, walking around flu season. They got their mask on. They're like, yee. And everybody's going, look at this stupid bastard. What are you afraid of? You can't bother them in America with blowing smoke in their face because, like Miss Yet, the headmistress at Jinta English Language School, once she got to know me a little bit better and I forced her to give me a key so I didn't have some poor girl walking around behind me watching me drink and get loaded with all the fucking soldiers and cops, because for some reason in China, soldiers and cops love me. I've never been in any country in the world where the cops really were my friends. And these guys just love me. I said, this is weird. That's a weird thing too, because China is the first place I've been in my life when somebody says, you go north and you take that and you fucking do that. And I'm like, all right. I always find myself in the land of my people where I grew up. I look at north and it doesn't feel like east or north. When I look east, it feels like north to me. The sun's coming up, it still seems like it's north. I feel there's like that migratory latent thing that we've got, you know, seemingly vestigial, but one that we can bring back into play when the time comes. I could just look and know north when I was in China. I never been any place in my life like that. It felt right. So much of the things, just being able to walk down the street with a beer and the cops across the road going, hey, one that you don't even know. And you're like, hey, and he's like, yay, you know. Yeah, I don't even know how to say the word cool in China because I never had to learn it. 很好的, very good. Oh, 凶的, very strong. How many beers can you drink, they ask you. And I'd say to them, that was a common question. You're sitting there drinking beers with these people in China, and they always want to know, how many beers can you drink? That's a sign of strength. And if you've watched Yojimbo, that Japanese movie, you understand that Far East, for some reason, maybe not all of the Far East, but at least Japan and China, very directly related couple of peoples, and they take great honor in being in the presence of someone they consider to be strong. Black van. And they always say, how many beers can you drink? I'd say, you know, I don't know, because I black out before I ever get to that point. There's your answer right there. And so, I don't make fun of China at all. I had a very good time there. I felt like I was in the land of my people too. Very, 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 very logical. But still, we make fun of them when we see them walking down the street or into any place with a mask on. They know what happens when you get too many people together that are sick. But now we're wearing a mask. And it's like, maybe, they want to make fun of somebody, but they somewhere deep inside, one of those latent emerging things, they might be getting smarter. They realize if I make fun of them, then I'm making fun of me because I'm wearing a mask too. And so there goes that. You don't have that anymore. Then you look at the psychologically deranged. Used to be able to make a lot of fun of them. Look at him walking down the street like that. Look at him. Look how scared he is. Look how he's trying to stay away. Stay away. Got his little tissue. What about Bob? All you have to do is watch. What about Bob from a new perspective? From a 2020 perspective. You see the truth right there now. Everybody was laughing at him. Poor Bob Wiley. He was way ahead of the curve. You see him waking up alone. He's quarantined. He's got a fish. It's in the water. They don't eat of the same food and they don't crap in the same place. He's not likely to get fish flu or anything. Gil? So, then he does his things, goes out into the street. He, walking down the street and people are walking by and everything he touches, he's got a Kleenex outside of his living space, outside of his zone of comfort. He's got a Kleenex. He's tissues all the time. Then and he throws them away and he pulls a new one. And he's walking by the street. There's some other kind of maniac, the kind you see driving down the road today, going, "You son of a bitch, you son of a bitch." He's just, and he's like, and he's thinking 6 feet. He's going by him. And then all this stuff. He got to the point where he got in the elevator, he had the baby steps. He thought he had the whole thing going, baby steps. He walked in a fucking windowsill already. He's already made leaps and bounds. He feels good about Dr. Marvin. Dr. Leo Marvin! And he walks out and he gets to the elevator and he's like, baby steps, get on the elevator. He did the work. He got on there. But doors closed and he screamed, which this whole thing, I'm a very big fan of this movie. It's just such a truth. I could do a whole thing on it. I could tell you about the deeper meanings of it as I see it, because Bob knew exactly what he was doing. But I got in an elevator, September, August, I don't know, a couple months ago, month or two ago. Walking up to that elevator, I was looking at it, I'm like, ooh. And I'm looking around, there's nobody around, but there was one guy that came walking out of nowhere, and he got on his elevator. We just let him have it, and we took our own elevator up and did what he did. Pushed the buttons with our elbows. Saw him doing it. We have all passed into a time where we're afraid of everything. And if you don't wear a mask, it's likely you're the kind of person that's hugging everybody and shaking hands. And see, I'm on both sides of this. You're shaking hands, and then you're going to the toilet and you're not washing them because you're thinking, well, all this damn detergent that's going in there is just going to pollute our water and retard the growth of our harvest when it comes time to eat. And, ooh. If you're like that, you're probably the one spreading the disease. But Bob Wiley is not going to catch the disease. Too bad for him. He'll have to go his whole life trying to stay away from people. Good for him. They've turned it into a law where you have to stay away from other people. So it'll be easier on him. But he's going to live in fear of it his whole life. So what I'm saying is COVID-19 has made this world a better place. It's taken away from a couple of people to make fun of. And especially with the Bob Wiley thing, it covers a vast amount of people that are just like, well, can't make fun of that anymore. These are people that may have only had one or two of those things going on, so they thought they were okay, and he was a nut. But you see, he's not a monster. He's just ahead of the curve.